Hey everyone, welcome to Craft Central Designs. I have for you today this beautiful Valentine's Day wreath made with materials from the Dollar Tree, Michael's, and Hobby Lobby. Welcome back to my current subscribers and to all visiting my channel today. I hope you will love this wreath as much as I do and feel inspired to make it. And as well, subscribe if you are not currently a subscriber and leave me your comments. I love receiving them. Okay, let me show you how I created this beautiful Valentine's Day wreath. You will need a 14-inch wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using this Deco mesh that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I used about 2 2/3 rolls of this Deco mesh. It makes a really beautiful application on a wreath. And I purchased this beautiful wood heart at Hobby Lobby. All the Valentine's Day craft materials are 40% off right now. I have some red paint, some Mod Podge that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and as well I have some red glitter that I also purchased at Hobby Lobby. I have a box here that I'm going to use for when I paint my heart and glitter my heart to try and minimize the glitter mess. We all know how glitter can be. I have there some pipe cleaners. I almost always buy my pipe cleaners at Hobby Lobby. And I have a foam applicator, which I'm going to use for the Mod Podge application, and a paintbrush as well. I have your 2 Celebrate ribbons, both of which I purchased at Michael's. I believe, yes, they were 30% off. I have here some heart picks that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. I love their craft embellishments this season. They're just beautiful. And I purchased these 2. I only intended to use the hearts, not the actual pots. I have here the regular crafting tools, wire cutters, some scissors that you're not seeing there, but I do use them, and a hot glue gun. As well, I have this beautiful glitter heart ribbon. That's 2.5 inches that I purchased at Michael's, as well as some red mesh tubing that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and paint this beautiful wood heart that I got at Hobby Lobby. When I saw this in the Valentine department, I just thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be gorgeous, red and glittered. So I went ahead and I painted the whole entire wood heart with that red paint. You could use any red paint, just one that's in the same red family, if you will, as the glitter hearts that you're going to be using. Now I measured out 16 inches on my workspace. I often just use a piece of tape or a little marker line just to designate how long I want to cut my Deco mesh pieces. And in this case, I'm going to cut 16-inch pieces. This Deco mesh is 10 inches wide. It's a beautiful, sturdy Deco mesh. But you could as well, if you wanted to use Dollar Tree Deco mesh, you could use that as well. You're just going to have to place more bundles because of the density or the thickness of the Dollar Tree Deco mesh. I'll talk more about that later. So we're going to use the woodland method to create these bundles. I'm going to be using 2 of these sections per bundle. the curled side up, you're going to roll the deco mesh. I'm rolling it rather tightly this time, as opposed if you just saw my previous wreath tutorial on my other Valentine's Day wreath, I did it a little more loosely. This one I'm doing a little tighter because I want my deco mesh not to be so full on the wreath. And I wrap a pipe cleaner around, half of a pipe cleaner around those two sections of deco mesh that I rolled up. And now we have our first bundle. I'm going to be placing 14 bundles on that wreath frame. I'm going to show you again how I did that. I roll up about 3 times and then I scrunch up the deco mesh till I reach the other side, place on a clip. I'm doing it again here. Roll about 3 times, place a clip there. Roll the other side about 3.5 times. Scrunch up the deco mesh until you get to the other side. And then just marry it up with the first one that you rolled up. Wrap half of a pipe cleaner around that. And you have a beautiful deco mesh bundle to go on this beautiful Valentine's Day wreath. Look how pretty that is. So we're going to be applying all of these mesh bundles to that wire wreath frame. And I'm going to apply those bundles to the second wire from the inside. I do start applying my bundles around the section where there is a crossbar. And then from there, I just apply all the rest of my bundles on that wire, that second from the inside wire. I place it snug on top of the wire, turn it over, and twist my pipe cleaners. As I move around the wreath, applying the bundles, I push the bundles up against one another. And here you have the entire wreath full of those bundles, and it is just beautiful. Now, my painted heart is ready to glitter. So what I'm going to do is I take a paper bowl and a sponge applicator, and I'm going to do that heart in sections. And what I'm going to do is dip my sponge applicator in my deco mesh, and I'm going to dab it on top of that heart. Now this is very easy to do. It took me less than 15 minutes to cover the entire heart with glitter. So I just tap my glitter container. Of course, I have it on the cap on the setting with where the 3 holes are, so the glitter doesn't come out in a huge pile. Of course, you have to control it. So be careful that you have it, the top, the little dial turned so that it's exposing the 3 holes. And you see, I just do sections at a time. Putting more Mod Podge on. I tried tapping it with my finger. That worked fine. But then I also tried just kind of, I'm showing you there, those holes. I'm also using this method by kind of just shaking it back and forth. Either or, you could do it either way. And I'm just covering that entire heart with that beautiful red glitter, which, by the way, matches very well with those glitter hearts that I got at the Dollar Tree. And after you're satisfied that the entire heart is covered, and my goodness, did that turn out so beautiful. That was a beautiful way to dress up that heart from Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to make bows. I'm going to do something a little different on this wreath. I'm going to place 4 small bows around the wreath. I'm going to have about an 8-inch tail because I like to curl those tails a little bit once I get that on the wreath. I'm going to fold over my loops. They are 8 inches long in length, each loop. And I just fold it over, catch it in the middle with my thumb there. Hold it firm and stable right down the middle. Twist my ribbon, fold it over. Again, 8 inches. I'm going to do 2 loops on each side. Make sure your loops are symmetrical. Twist your ribbon and fold over loop number 2 on the right side. Now my thumb in the middle is holding firm, as well as my index finger, all of those loops. I'm going to take a pipe cleaner now, wrap it around. I'm going to use a full-size pipe cleaner because I'm going to be attaching those bows through the deco mesh down to the wire of the wreath frame. And I'm going to create one single loop going right down the center. After I twist it, I just fold it under. And you see my thumb there? I just catch it with my thumb and hold that single loop right there in the center. Now I'm going to take a pipe cleaner from the back, stick it right through the center loop, pull it through, bring it around the back, and twist the pipe cleaners together. And now all of your loops are secure by placing the pipe cleaner on there and twisting it in the back. Now I have one tail on the top, so what I'm going to do is just marry it up with the tail on the bottom to measure the length, and then I just cut it off from the spool and feed it right through that center loop. And now my 2 tails are married up on one side. And you have here a pretty little 4-loop bow with 1 loop going right down the center. I do have bow tutorials. I'll list them in the description box, or you could just find them on my playlist. I have multiple tutorials showing you how that I make bows. Next thing we're going to do is prepare our picks. So what I'm going to do is cut off with the wire cutter all of the stems, if you will, that are holding those red glitter hearts. Now I'm going to apply my 4 ribbons or my 4 bows. I place them around 2 o'clock, around 4 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, and around 10 o'clock in that around that area. I reach through my deco mesh, find wires, a wire that I can attach it to. Actually, I look for 2 wires, and I wrap the pipe cleaners around 2 wires. I'm going to open up the loops of my bow, and I'll arrange the tails later. So now I have all of my bows attached. And I absolutely love the look of this. I'm going to twist or curl my tails. I angle the ends of my tails of my bows. You do you. If you would rather dovetail, that's fine. And notice how I just give them a little bit of a curl. And I love that look. So I'm going to go around the wreath and tend to all 4 of my bows, angling the tails, giving them a little curl there. Now I'm going to show you later on that I do take a little dot of hot glue and keep those curled tails remaining where I want them to be. I'll show you that later. Now, in between each of the bows, I'm going to place 3 hearts. And there you have it. Now, I hot glue those on, but this wreath is going to be on the inside. It's not going to be outside in the weather elements. So if you're concerned about making sure that everything remains, if you're in a hot climate, you can use hot glue with a dab of Aleene's tacky glue as well. I use Gorilla hot glue, and I find that to be an excellent glue for the long-term hold. But again, if you're worried about the heat in any way, or perhaps you plan to store this in a hot attic, you may want to use a dab of Aleene's tacky glue along with your hot glue. Now, what you see me doing here is sometimes I would rather my deco mesh go in a different direction than it wants to go, if that makes sense. So what I do is I go around the wreath, and if I'm not happy the way any of my coiled bundles are lying on the wreath, I just take a little bit of hot glue and I arrange them. And I just put a little dab of glue there to get those bundles to sit exactly the way I want them to on the wreath. And that's what I'm doing right there. You can always use a clip to hold anything you need to. I love these clips. They're from Dollar Tree. They have larger ones and smaller ones. Now I'm going to start with the process of attaching all of my little hearts. Now I situate them in different directions, and I tilt them sideways, this way and that way. You do you, place them as you like. But I just try and balance out those hearts on the wreath. And I'm showing you there. There's the Aleene's tacky glue. I really love this glue. It's really a great tacky glue. Now I have my glittered heart sitting on top of my wreath. Now I am going to decide exactly where that heart should be on the wreath. And then I'm going to take a bit of time to arrange my bundles or my coiled deco mesh around that heart. Now, it is going to sit for the most part toward the top, but I do try and place it a little bit inside of that wreath. Once I'm satisfied with the placement, I go around and I use hot glue. And again, if it's going to be outside, go ahead and add a dab of Aleene's tacky glue there as well. Now I also have some smaller hearts. I believe it's called Table Scatter that I had purchased at Hobby Lobby, and there they are. They're just little hearts. I'm using the shiny ones. And I'm going to go around the wreath and place a number of those hearts. I believe I used 12. Look at that glitter on that heart. Is that not gorgeous? That just turned out so beautiful, and it was so easy to do. So I went around the wreath and kind of trimmed up any little frays from the deco mesh. And I also put a loop at the top of the hanger to hang the wreath by with a pipe cleaner. I just wrap it around the wreath frame wire and just create a loop, and that's how I hang the wreath. Now I'm going to be creating some additional bundles to go on this wreath, and I'm going to create 2 figure 8s with this deco mesh tubing. This again is from Dollar Tree. I leave some tails on there, about 4 to 5 inches, and I want to say the loops are around 4 to 5 inches each of those figure 8. And I'm going to place that right on top of one of the sections of ribbon that I cut from the 2.5-inch ribbon that I showed you in when we were going over the materials for the wreath. This was the ribbon that I got at Michael's as well. I'm dovetailing the ends. So what I did was create the 2 figure 8s, popped it right on top of the ribbon, gathered it up, and wrapped a pipe cleaner around it and dovetailed the ends. Now I'm going to do some more additional bundles with that 2.5-inch ribbon, but this time I'm going to put 2 pieces of ribbon together, cut at 8 inches, half a pipe cleaner, I wrap around it, and I dovetail each one of the ends of this ribbon. I created 8 of these bundles and 8 of the previous bundle that I showed you with the single piece of ribbon and the Deco mesh tubing on top. So those are going to be placed around the wreath wherever a bit of color is needed, and also just a change in texture. Like, for example, there, it was just kind of bland. There was the coils, but it needed more. So here you have the finished wreath, and I adore this wreath. I hope you love it too. Let me know in the comments. Look at the elements on this wreath. It is simply gorgeous. Filled with ribbon bundles, Deco mesh tubing, that gorgeous glitter heart, that fabulous Deco mesh, and those beautiful glitter picks. Gorgeous. I hope you love it. Let me know. Until next time, you all take care.